All welcome to my channel. This is Karthik, studying in Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, CSCI branch. So today we are going to discuss about typical CNN, convolutional neural networks architecture. So delving into the introduction to CNN architecture, so you can see clearly convolutional neural network are type of deep neural networks designed for processing structured grid data such as images. CNNs are widely used in computer vision tasks that are such as CV tasks as image recognition, object detection, and image segmentation. The architecture of CNN typically consists of convolutional layers, pooling layers, and fully connected input data connected layers. Convolutional layers are the building blocks of CNN and are responsible for extracting features from the input data. Each convolutional layer applies a set of filters to the input data to detect patterns and features. The output of the convolutional layer is called the feature map, which represents the presence of different features in the input data. So this is the introduction about CNN architecture. So what are convolutional layers? So input layers, you can see clearly here. There are mainly three layers. The first one is the input layer, and the second one is the hidden layer, and third one is the output layer. So in this input layer, which we give input to our model. So we generally give input to the model through input layers. The number of neurons in this layer is equal to the total number of features in the data. So this is input layer, and the hidden layer is the input layer from the input from the input layer is then fed into the hidden layer. These can be many. There can be many hidden layers depending on our model and data size. Each hidden layer can have different numbers of neurons, which are generally greater than the number of features. The output from each layer is computed by matrix multiplication of the output of the previous layer with learnable weights of the layer, and then by the addition of learnable biases followed by the activation function, which makes the network non-linear. So the third layer and the last layer is known as the output layer. The output from the hidden layer is fed into the logistic function like sigmoid or softmax, which converts the output of each class into the probability score of each class. So these are the main three layers in the convolutional CNN architecture. So and you can see the CNN architecture clearly over here. The convolutional layer applies filters to the input image to extract features. The pooling layer down samples the image to reduce the computation, and the fully connected layer makes the final prediction. The network learns the optimal filters through backpropagation and gradient descent. Pooling layers are used to downsample the feature maps generated by the convolutional layers. So the common pooling operations includes max pooling and the average pooling, which reduce the spatial dimensions of the feature maps. Pooling helps to make the network more robust to variations in the input data and reduce the computational complexity of the network. So this is the CNN architecture and how convolutional layers works. So convolutional layer neural networks can and or connects are neural networks that share their parameters. Imagine you have an image, so it can be represented as a cuboid having its length, width, and the height. Now imagine taking a small patch of this image and running a small neural network called a filter or kernel on it with say k outputs and representing them vertically. Now slide the neural network across the whole image. As a result, you will get another image with different widths, lengths, and heights. Instead of just RGB channels, now we have one more channel but lesser width and height. This operation is called convolutional. If the patch size is same as that of the image, it will be regular neural network. Because of the small pixels, small patch, we have fewer weights. So CNNs are trained on large datasets using backpropagation and gradient descent. The model's performance is evaluated on a separate test set to measure accuracy of the generalization. Techniques like data augmentation, transfer learning can enhance the performance of CNN models. Layers to build convolutions. So a complete convolutional layer architecture is also known as convex. A convex is a sequence of layers, and every layer transforms one volume to another through a differentiable function. Types of layers, datasets. Let's take an example by running a convex of image dimensions 32 cross 32 cross 3 input layers. So It is the layer in which we give input to our model. In CNN, generally the input will be an image or a sequence of images. The layer holds the raw input of the image with width 32, height 32 and depth 3. Convolutional layer. This is the layer which is used to extract the feature from the input dataset. It applies the set of learnable filters known as the kernels to the input images. The filters or kernels are small matrices, usually 2 x 2 x 3 x 3 x or 5 x 5 shape. It slides over the input image data and computes the dot product between kernel weight and the corresponding input image batch. The output of this layer is referred to as the feature map. Suppose we use a total of 12 filters for this layer, we will get an output volume of dimensions 32 x 32 x 12. So, and the next layer is the activation layer. By adding an activation function to the output of the preceding layer, activation layers add nonlinearity to the network. It will apply an element-wise activation function to the output of the convolutional layer. Some common activation functions are ReLU, TANH, and leaky ReLU. The volume remains unchanged, hence output volume will have the dimensions 32 x 32 x 12. So the next layer is the pooling layer. The layer is periodically inserted in the convents, and its main functions is to reduce the size of the volume, which makes the computation fast, reduces memory, and also prevents overfitting. The two common types of pooling layers are max pooling and the average pooling. If you use max pooling with 2 x 2 filters and straight 2, the resultant volume will be the dimension of 16 x 16 x 12. So this is known as and you can see the architecture. Flattened layer is marked as a blue dots, and the fully connected layer are represented in a green color, and the softmax layer is represented in orange color. So the output layers are divided into class A, class B and class C. So this is how the classification done. So, and what are the advantages are: good at detecting patterns and features in images, videos and audio signals, robust to translation, rotation and scaling invariance, end-to-end training and no need of manual feature extraction, can handle large amounts of data and achieve high accuracy. These are the advantages. And disadvantages are computationally expensive to train and require a lot of memory, can be prone to overfitting if not enough data or proper regularization is used, requires large amount of labeled data, interpretability is limited, it's hard to understand what the network has learned. These are the disadvantages. And applications are: CNN have numerous applications beyond image recognition, including object detection, facial recognition and medical image analysis. They have been used in autonomous vehicles, surveillance cameras and natural language processing tasks. CNNs continue to drive advancements in artificial intelligence and are key to technology in the deep learning landscape. These are the applications of CNNs. And the conclusion is, CNN's architecture have evolved over years from simple models like LayNet 5 to deep networks like ResNet. Understanding the components of CNN architecture such as convolutional layers, pooling layers and fully connected layers is essential for designing effective networks. By leveraging the power of CNNs, researchers and practitioners continue to push the boundaries of computer vision and artificial intelligence. Thank you. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.